this is what's so special about AK joining us today. Guys, he happens to be out here at the Fairmont Grand Del Mar this week. Not a bad place to come in December.
No,
I mean, here we are on a day where he could wear what he's wearing or what I'm wearing. You're good either way. I knew AK as a competitor at first. One of my favorite stories about how good this guy was, because our first coach ever was Adam Schreiber.
Yeah.
Now, AK was, about a year or two older than me, #1 in the country, best player. I remember you and Casey Wittenberg at the time were kind of the two names that were battling it out.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
And he was on my Junior Ryder Cup team. Fast forward this now to in college. This guy's at Oklahoma. And I'm a freshman now at Pepperdine. And now we're in the Southwestern Intercollegiate. I'm 1 under par, and I'm thinking to myself, and this is the top 20 teams in college golf at the time we're in this tournament, there is nobody in this field right now who could possibly be under par. I am playing my butt off. There's just nobody. And I go up to my coach on the 54th hole, and I go, hey, coach, I got a couple decisions here off the tee. I just want to know how many I'm leading by, just so I can get a feeling of kind of like what I need to do here. And he looks and he goes, well, you got second wrapped up. And I go, wait, what? He goes, AK's 9 under. And I go, how? And that was the day I realized, ooh, I got some work to do here. That was unbelievable.
I don't remember much of that tournament. I do remember that I had gone out the night before with one of my best friends, Ryan Toddy.
I was going to say Ryan Toddy had to be.
He picked me up. We went out all night.
Oh, that's good to know.
I
didn't. I was healthy the night before. I was eating, going to bed at 8 o'clock.
I got back when the team was having breakfast to go to the course and just trying not to puke that final round. But I do remember I played well.
That makes me feel good about my battling it out there, showing up on my A game, showing up an hour before, stretching, getting my warm-up routine in. I do remember very well the round I played with you on a Saturday at the PGA Junior Championship. My dad comes up to me, and he knew I was jazzed about playing against you. I'm kind of the young guy on the scene, and Dad looks at me and he goes, hey, you see him? He's going to play his game today. You know what you're going to do? You're going to play yours. He goes, swing your swing. Don't try to catch up. Play your game. Do what makes you successful.
Yep.
And it'll all add up at the end, buddy. And
yep.
That was my best thing, And I will say this, though. I do have to say this. I told you this the other day. When I played against somebody in competition, I did not want to see their swing at all. So what I would do, if AK were hitting this way, I would typically stare in front of the golf ball, and out of respect for the person, I'd always watch where the ball went so that, you can be the guy to always help out. Hey, if your ball went in the right rough and, need to find it, you can guide him in the right direction. But this was the one guy, when you would swing, that I used to go, all right, I actually got to get a good angle on this one here. Let me get my bag over here so I can set up and watch him swing. One of the only players in competition that I ever watched swing. And I always loved it.
I appreciate
that. That was always my favorite. I remember I watched every single shot of your round that day.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I think a lot of coaches don't get credit. Now, I'm not saying that a coach can take you all the way, but if you stay focused, stay committed to one person while you're building that foundation, if you have that trust in that person, which you and I were lucky that Adam was in our lives, you will go a long way. And I credit, obviously, the last year I've improved a lot with the help of Matt Killen. But with that being said, Matt I knew kind of what to do once I got in this position because of what Adam taught me.
Absolutely.
Without Adam, there is no golf swing.
Yep.
And so, obviously, I think he's a great coach, but he was like a father figure to me, where I could call him at any point in the day, middle of the night, and he would give me his best. And I think that's where a lot of guys flip-flop coaches all the time, is because they're trying to get better, but they're not doing it the right way. Made a lot of mistakes in college, juniors, as a professional, struggled with my mental health. And I know people throw that word around a lot, but when you don't think of the consequences of your decisions, you make poor ones. And I realize now that the decisions you make today are going to affect 3-5 years down the line. It might not affect you in 6 months, and that's where I have this 1% better every day mindset, because sure, if I practice out here, I might get worse today, but if I'm working on something and working towards something and I see that goal, I'm just going to keep working till I get there. I'm not going to worry about the results of today and tomorrow. And I know some of my results at Live have been, most of my results at Live have been poor. Sure, I've had a good round here and there, but I knew that if I just kept chipping away, that at some point it would show. And I know I didn't walk away with a great weekend in Riyadh, but the scores are starting to show up, and hopefully I could keep going and stay on this trend of getting better and same trajectory. And I think eventually the goal is to get a W, but my goal right now is just to work on what I need to get better at and get better every single day.
One of the best junior players that I had ever played against, or ever, and really not just in my era, but of any era. You were unbelievable. And what would be your number one piece of advice to a junior golfer out there these days? We work with many of them. There's many watching right now. What would be that number one piece of advice?
I don't know that I have one piece of advice because there's so many different ways to skin a cat. Man, there's nothing like working hard.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. It makes you feel a sense of accomplishment, right? Just hitting balls here, hearing that sound, I will think about this after I get done, right before I go see my daughter. And then obviously I'm fully focused on that. But working hard makes you feel accomplishment, which gives you confidence. When I worked with Adam and I first started taking lessons from him, I didn't ask him to help me get better at what I was good at. I said, let's tighten that up, but let's go out and play, and you tell me where you think I'm the weakest. And I would spend 8 hours a day working on that. I hated it, right? Because I sucked at these things, but I needed to get better at that. What you'll notice about a lot of guys that play professional golf, not every single one of them, but I would say 95% of them, is that they don't really have that many weaknesses. They may do one thing exceptionally well. They may drive it straight, they may hit it far, they may be a great wedge player, but they do everything good enough, right? So if you have an extreme weakness, sure, you could play against that, right? Let's say a guy's not a good chipper, they're gonna lay it back to 100 yards. But at some point, the guy that gets closer to the green is gonna get more up and down than you. So you gotta work on the weaknesses rather than just focus on what you're good at. If you're a great driver of the ball, sure, it's gonna be easy to hit a bucket of balls and go hit 500 drives and feel really good about yourself. But deep down, when you're under pressure in a tournament, you're gonna go, I do not wanna chip this ball. And I think that's the problem. A lot of guys just wanna hit it far and do what the pros are doing on TV. They only show a percentage of the great golf shots. They don't show when the guy is getting up and down from the trees, right? Like chipping out, getting up and down from 80 yards. I think that's the where you can gain the most ground, is to work on your weaknesses.
I love that. Beautiful.
Playing golf with more gratitude and just being grateful to, not just to play golf, but to play in front of people again, show my daughter what it is to work hard and grind every single day consistently, get 1% better every single day is the goal. And I think all the work that I've put in now, I don't feel the pressure I thought I would feel, or what the pressure I felt when I was younger. She's changed my life so much, and you know, a lot of people say that's my new identity as far as in a negative way, but I look at it as positive.
Absolutely.
Because once you have a kid and your goal is to be a good parent, having a daughter every day influence your life is the best thing you could ask for.
Here we are at the beautiful Fairmont Grand Del Mar and the Grand Golf Club, the home of Porzak Golf, where golf is not just considered a sport, it's a lifestyle.
The Porzak Golf membership will take you on an immersive journey that blends performance, lifestyle, and the spirit of the game like never before.
This membership is geared towards helping you play the best golf of your life and enjoy the greatest game ever played. For more information on what your membership includes, click the link below.